fourth conference and annual function of 2026. Can we have a huge round of applause for that? Our school partners for this event is Glendale International School and the Global Schools Group. Welcome to Glendale International School, a Global Schools Group School in Dubai. Global Schools Foundation is a Singapore-based company who has 64 campuses around 11 countries with 50,000 plus students around the world. We have more than 70 plus nationalities as well, and we cater to multiple curricula across the world.
Ed Talk events. These are short-term events that we do where we give the speakers a particular topic in the field of education and we want to know their opinions and thoughts on how do we work on these concerns in the field of early years. This is one of our publications. We released a book where we had different authors across the globe and where we are talking about early childhood development, a universal perspective. Reflections of our events that we do ongoing. We do webinars, monthly webinars. We do talk shows and Sphere of Influence where we'll be launching our new season very soon, where we again invite a lot of educators across the globe that talk about topics pertaining to early years and their education. Some other events that we have, one is Storika Patara, where we invite storytellers globally who are our judges, and we invite educators across the world who are interested in storytelling, who want to refine their skill and learn from other educators as well. We also do ECDF awards. These are awards and honors dedicated to the field of early years for principals, vice principals, educators, and any stakeholder who's been in the domain and is doing commendable work in the field of early childhood education and care. These are some of the glimpses of our ECDF awards. At the end of today's session, we'll also be having ECDF Literacy Awards.
PhD's E33 strategy, they have a 10-year plan to be the top 10 global city for educational quality by 2033, and they hope to have 100 new schools by that date. And it is about those key things that we all want to have as educators: fostering lifelong learning, enhancing personalised learning, which I think is key for all of our schools, the exposure to collaboration, to learning from each other, to be open to suggestions of challenging their thinking. And that's what, again, of our leader in me. Think first, listen first before you give your opinion. So that's really, really important for our children to learn that skill and emphasise that cultural awareness and empathy in the global world. I'm going to hand over to Miss Suzanne now, who's going to talk a bit more about what's happening in our classrooms here and hopefully some more takeaways that are fantastic things that are happening in the FS section of the school.
Role play builds creativity, communication and confidence, while activities like building and puzzles develop executive function and problem-solving skills. Play also encourages safe risk-taking, strengthens physical development and nurtures curiosity and innovation, layering the early foundations for STEM learning. But most importantly, play supports the whole child by integrating cognitive, social and emotional development. So, when we say that play is a superpower, we truly mean that play equips children with the skills, confidence and curiosity that they need, not just for school, but for life.
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me this important gathering, which I believe should always take place whenever we can. Personally, I learn from experts in the room. And do we have teachers here? Do we have teachers? A big round of applause for teachers. Wherever we go, whatever position we become, there must be a teacher inside us. Thank you for the information, Ms. Jasmine and Ms. Susan. I agree, I emphasize those points. We do have goals, but we carefully look at the journey, reaching that goal. For me, I will not go far from the points that were mentioned, but from my position, we look at those issues strategically. Doing inspection for 14 years, more than 1,000 schools in UAE and in the region, visiting different curricular schools, I personally learned a lot. So we look at how things, strategically impacting the educational progress that's happening here, and it's good for every school to look to adopt this, way of how we are doing and how is everyone else is doing. How can we transfer best practice and what we can learn? Is to support. The other thing that I've noticed, and this is everything here came from more strategic overlook at the schools that we've done in the past, especially in the Middle East, the past 5 years so far, is how much and how deep we know about the kids. Do we know enough, or is there still more that we need to know? This is extremely important. We think that we know enough, but every day is a new day. We're working with humans, not students. Every day they come with new information, with a new emotion, with a new mentality, and this is how flexible we need to be working with them. Inclusion. One of the most important departments in the MOE now is the inclusion and the well-being. And there's a lot of focus on these two departments. We're putting all kind of policies, trying to make them all adapt to face any kind of challenge in the world. This is a country that has hundreds of nationalities. With all the respect for all the nationalities, people need to mingle together and live together, and we see that in different schools. And it's growing, and we need the children to be able to make to understand that and adopt that. This happens every day. Fog this morning, all the buses were late. So some schools in the Western region, maybe they had to do distance learning. So it's happening every day. Whether the pandemic happened to us. So, but here the point is that children need to be prepared about this. They need to understand that it's happening. It's not always the classroom. It's not always the children in the classroom. There are other contexts. There are other ways of learning and interacting.
When we are multitasking and we are doing so many things, and as human beings, I have realized that peace within is very important. And as a child, I was raised in an environment which was not really peaceful, as in there was a lot of competition, there were a lot of things happening, and it was very difficult for me to self-regulate at that time, and no one taught me. For which reason I had battled with a lot of emotions for a long time, until and unless I got into this bit of research where I started working on my own mind. So this comes from my own experience, and then as an early childhood educationist, I have started to work on a pedagogy and also implement it in my Tender Petals chain of preschools, where we have been doing it for the last 3 years and also documenting the outcomes of the same. So let me quickly go through this and tell you a little about what we do. A very polarized world where everything is divided, there are a lot of opinions, there are a lot of confusion and chaos, and the digital noise. I would not even talk about it. We all know about what's happening. It's become one of the biggest pandemics now. The screen time and all of that. Social unrest everywhere, in the families, in the surroundings, in the neighborhood, everywhere. Emotional dysregulation in adults. Yes, as an adult, what are the examples that we are showing to our little ones? So when we look at the neuroscience of peace in early childhood years, I would like to talk about these very important things, like in the first foundational years, this is the first 6 years, children basically are designed by the experience that they have. And they are born with billions of neurons which are disconnected, and when we are working on those neural connections which connect very fast as per their experience, it all depends on what kind of experiences they have. Well, environment and social empathy. So caring for plants, love and respect for animals. So we do these sessions where we do not get live animals, but we make them imagine an animal and start patting that and loving them. And that is what was creating that connection. Gratitude for food, water, earth. I remember I was in a school where every time we have our tiffin, we used to say a gratitude prayer. Yes, and adults as peace models teach teacher self-regulation. So teacher needs to practice that. I'm a teacher, I come to the school, I'm not regulated. And I'm angry, so how would I behave with the little ones?
This is from surroundings to sensibility, presented by, of course, by Sir Bharti Saur, CEO of Parisar Asha, Mumbai. How many you have connections with India? Can you raise your hands? Okay, many of you. Anybody knows, what is the meaning of Parisar? Any idea? It's a campus, it's a surrounding. It's your immediate environment. And Asha? Home. So exactly this is what we are doing. We have a special pedagogy, ECDF. ECDF is Environmental Studies Approach Towards Learning. Okay, because environment really plays very, very important role in our upbringing, the way we think, the way we act, the way we behave. Our behavior is completely dependent on the kind of environment you have received. Am I making sense to that?
Highlighting individuals and institutions who've made a significant impact in early learning. And before we present this award is dedicated to the legendary singer Zubeen Garg. Zubeen Garg is not just a celebrated artist, but a cultural voice that has shaped generations. Through his music, cinema, and unwavering commitment to Assamese identity, he's carried the soul of our land far beyond borders. And today we honor the singer whose art continues to inspire, unite, and endure. So I now invite Dr. Omar Al-Fakir and Dr. Vasavi Acharya to hand away the awards. Welcoming with a warm round of applause. In the first category, which is the Institution Category Award, we have the Innovation in Early Childhood Learning, and the award goes to, any guesses? The Lotus Valley International School, Noida, in India. I invite Gandeep Kaur, the Vice Principal of Lotus Valley International School, to please accept the award. Can we have a louder round of applause? The next award goes to SM Group of Schools in India in the best school in K-12. I invite Swapnil Murthy Gaikar and Pranal Murthy Gaikar, directors of Gaikars Life Skill Private Limited, Gaikar Foundation, Mumbai, to receive the awards. With this, we come to the end of this category. Thank you, Dr. Umar.